Welcome back to Post Time. Trainer Robbie Siegelman joins me now, and we have a lot of things to talk about. I want to know how you got into the business. I don't even know what that story is.
Well, I got into the business originally back at Roosevelt Raceway when I was in junior high school. I won't tell you what year it was, but I was back in junior high school, and I started grooming horses. To be honest with you, it was in the 70s, and I started working for Anthony Abatello. And Anthony and Carmine Abatello taught me just how to run a business, how to take care of a horse, and it was my first training job working for Anthony, actually.
Now, you've had a lot of really talented horses, and it seems like, you're looking at the USTA website, there's Robbie's name, and there's Robbie's name. However, it also seems to me that your name comes up in press releases or videos or wherever talking about charity just as much as talking about standardbred racing. So that's what we really want to get into. You have been doing charity work, I know, for years. I'm going to tell you the first time I heard about you with volunteering, and that was with inner city kids. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, it sure does. We had a great program at the Meadowlands for inner city kids. They came from Newark, and these were big, rough, tough kids from the city, and they got to come into the barn and one-on-one learn about horses and something which they never would have a chance to do. And it really helped these kids. It was a tremendous program.
Now, one of the things that you're doing as far as charity work is you're part of a program called Horseability, where you work with veterans. Is that correct?
Well, Horseability is an amazing place on Long Island, and it's a therapeutic riding facility for mentally and physically challenged. And it just covers such a broad spectrum of young people right on down to geriatric now. They have programs for Alzheimer's patients. And I could talk about it for hours. They have quite a few autistic kids that do riding. It's a phenomenal what it does. My favorite happens to be the Horseability for Heroes, which is a veterans program. And what that is veterans from one of our local veterans hospitals come out, and they can either ride or now they can drive, thanks to Siegelman Stable, and we've introduced harness racing and driving into the program. So the physically and mentally challenged that can't ride now have driving offered to them also. And I just love, it started off, it was mostly older vets and Vietnam era vets. And then all of a sudden these kids come in, they're like my kids' ages, in their early 20s. And most of it is mental and physical, but a lot of them, you'll see like a 23-year-old kid come in and he appears to be fine, but they're just suffering from, post-traumatic syndrome, and it's tough. And it's just great to be able to give it to them.
Isn't it amazing? Like, these animals are, I don't know, 800, 1,000 pounds. And you would think that the people would be so intimidated by them if they hadn't worked around horses before. But they end up being the most gentle animals in the world. It's breathtaking.
They are. The horses, animals are tremendous medicine, and the horses are fantastic. And they might be a little timid at first, the people that haven't been around the horses like we have, but they start off by brushing them, and then they form a bond with these horses, and before you know it, they're riding and they're driving horses, and it just offers to these guys a whole nother world, and it makes them forget about quite a few of their doctors are recommending them going to Horseability. So it's really great, and it's just a good chance to help these guys out that have done so much for us, so we can be television reporters and horse trainers. I mean, that's what these guys are doing for us. And girls, just as many women come through now.
Yeah, that's right. It's a great point. I know Veterans Day, we have it once a year, but it's important to keep our veterans in mind every day, every year, and what they do for us. One last thing we got to touch on, because Robbie and I have talked about this before. It's so amazing how it makes you feel when you do charity work, and people don't understand. They're like, oh, I don't have time in the day to do this, or it's such an amazing feeling. And we've talked about that. It's almost like it's a feeling that isn't fair, because it's so great, right?
I know, it's tremendous. Like, I'll get up at 4:30, go to my barn, work all day, and I actually look forward to going out to Horseability for a couple hours whenever I can when I get home. And it's a really great feeling. And that's one of the reasons I do it. It is selfish in a way because it makes you feel really good about yourself. And honestly, I don't understand why more people wouldn't do it. I just love it.
We're going to change the world, though, the two of us, and we're going to show people how good it feels to volunteer. We can do that, right?
We're sure going to do our part, that's for sure.
Thank you, Robbie, for being on the show, and good luck with racing and with all your charity work.
Yeah, thanks so much.